I once got kicked off YouTube for doing a story just like this. It was a story of black on white crime, nasty as you can imagine. Except they bleeped out a lot of parts and they didn't show much of the video. It was in Pittsburgh. They had a bunch of blurry people, big blurry people standing around a small blurry person, and there was no audio. So I called the mom in Pittsburgh and I said, "Can I get the raw video of that?" She said, "Yeah, sure." Boom. Did a video on the raw video where it was totally different. You heard the language, you saw the body language, you heard the threats, you saw the kid in the middle, the white kid in the middle, didn't want anything to do with getting the hell beat out of him by these 10 black kids who were all threatening, glaring, and eventually stomping on him. That got me kicked off YouTube when I showed the difference between what the news stations showed, how they kind of minimized it, they marginalized it, they pretend it was something other than what it was. Then I let people decide for themselves by showing the raw video. YouTube got a hold of that and said, "Colin, goodbye." Well, that's what this story is. I didn't even think I was going to be able to do this story because I saw the raw video on this story, but I was in the middle of about 10 things 2 days ago, and when I went back 2 hours later to capture the raw video with all the language, with all the threats, the complete video, nasty, nasty example of black on white violence and hostility, it was gone. I sent the person an email saying, "Hey, what about that video?" It was gone. So one of our more enthusiastic and faithful viewers here at Minds.com, Minds.com/Colin Flaherty, Tap Rack Girl, she noticed it was in the local paper today, in the local ABC affiliate today. But when I looked at it, it's as bad as this is, what you're about to see. The raw version was 100 times worse because there was no beepings. You saw the whole thing. You saw this whole thing unfold. And it's weird how the guy buries the lead, right? I mean, he buried the lead that this was a racial attack dripping with racial hostility, racial venom, racial threats, racial slurs. Buried that like 3/4 of the way through the story. That didn't really mean much. It wasn't really that important, was it, my man?
Jessica, thank you. Now to a story you'll see on Just One station. A brutal beating after a woman says a case of road rage left her bruised and bloodied. 7's Franklin White is live in Lauderdale Lakes with the exclusive. Franklin.
That's right. She says she suffered serious wounds so bad she can barely breathe from her broken nose. Now she's recovering and praying police find her alleged abusers.
What? I'm not scared. I'm not scared. What happened?
An intense case of road rage ends with a woman brutally beaten with a bat.
Let me go.
The victim, still badly bruised, spoke to 7 News and says it all went down last Thursday when she cut a woman off while driving on 441. She says the woman's sister, who was driving a different car, saw what happened and began yelling at the victim.
I don't give a right here. My mother sister. I don't give a
You don't cut my sister off. That's disrespectful.
Fearing for her safety, the victim says she pulled into the South Lakes shopping plaza off Oakland Park Boulevard in Lauderdale Lakes to try and get away.
Her sister actually blocked me in, and the other sister blocked me in from behind. I had nowhere to go.
In the video, you can see what she says happened next. The woman seen here walking toward the victim while carrying the bat, yelling racial slurs and begins bashing her in the head.
After I got hit with the first bat, I just grabbed her and we started, kind of wrestling on the floor. So I got the bat away from her. And while I'm wrestling with her, the other sister with the wooden bat just started hitting me in the back of the head.
Yo, you guys need to shut up, man.
People nearby rushing to help as the victim desperately fights for her life. The beating, leaving this bloody wound, and the victim rushed to the hospital. 5
stitches on the top and 2 inside. I got 7 staples in the back of my head from when the other sister was hitting me in the back, and they broke my nose.
Right now, the victim is hoping police track down the sisters so she can rest easy and move on.
I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy to be alive and not brain dead or anything like that, because I know it could have been a lot worse.
you know the police are on their way. The police are on their way. I don't got time for this. I got a kid, bruh. Yo, go ahead, hit me with a bat.
I got a kid too.
Go ahead, hit me with a bat.
I don't give a fuck.
Right
but
here.
my motherfucking sister, bitch, I don't give a fuck.
Go ahead.
I'll fuck your ass up,
That's
fucking
great.
crack ass
That's
bitch.
great.
What?
I'm not scared. I'm
What?
not scared.
What happened, bitch?
$8 what?
Bitch.
$8 what?
Well, down at Lauderdale Lakes, that's pretty close to Fort Lauderdale, pretty close to Miami, Miami Beach. They're all ramping up now. They're ramping up for Black Beach Week, Black Beach weekend on Memorial Day at Miami Beach, where for the last 20 years, Miami Beach has turned into either A, a state of anarchy, or B, an armed camp suppressing a state of anarchy. So the last headline I saw said they're contemplating playing Mozart at a loud volume, so that would scare all the fellas away and prevent them from creating all sorts of nasty business. But even though, I don't know why anybody down there is worried about it. As long as we got reporters like this, news stations like that down there, nobody's going to report anything that makes the black kids angry.